talk.
We started doing, we're doing open masses every month, and we had like regular people who were not members of the orders wanting to come every month, and they were coming because they liked the ritual and wanted the experience. But then after, for reasons of my own, after we did my third, I stopped doing public masses because if this truly is part of the OTO system, then it seems to me like if you're going to come to this on a regular basis, then you should be coming because you're interested in the order, not just this one little aspect. And that was my question, you know,
I came to the Mass for 2 years before I took the
So,
And there's an even better example in Margaret, who attended Mass for the better part of 5 years before actually initiating.
so you encourage people to just continue coming to...
Sure.
All right, because I didn't know...
In fact, what I sort of see happening is that baptism and confirmation will be available to people without having to become venerable. Okay,
And how does that make the EGC part of the OTO system if you're not...
Thank you.
It's still part of the system.
So, I mean, if it's... Okay.
Whereas, let's see, baptism and confirmation doesn't make you an officer of EGC. You can still be a member of EGC. That's still a member of OTO, but if you're like an ecclesiastical member, you're a member of OTO as EGC. It's sort of like a front end deal. It's not so much that you're an initiate member of the order being baptized and confirmed. It's sort of it's another couple of steps.
So you're creating sort of an out of order.
Well, we already have associate membership.
Yeah.
Okay, it's similar to the idea of associate membership.
Is that something we can then offer to these people that want to come on a regular basis? And you could be a non-initiate
there are a lot of
member
people
of...
Yeah.
that we have now who are baptized and being confirmed who aren't even members. And according to my conversations with HP, that's it'll probably stay that way. In fact, we may actually, as we go along, we may actually define that, how that's actually going to work out in the bylaws. Right now, it's not even addressed in it. There's nothing that even addresses the status of people who are baptized or confirmed.
Okay, but how does that encourage making the EGC more incorporated in the OTO system? How does that work then? You talked about how to use
I don't know if it necessarily encourages that. I just think that what the idea is that the officers of the EGC need to be initiate members, so that they're the ones who are really part of the church structure, and they're the ones who are ministering to the laity, as it were. Lay membership is not really addressed right now in the bylaws, but what I sort of see happening ultimately in the future is that it will be. So this is not something that's being done as part of integrating EGC into OTO. It just seems like it's just the natural way for it to happen.
May I answer that
Sure.
in part also? My experience has been that it has given an additional flexibility to it. I've all been working on the "I'll know when the time is right" principle. And at one time, the EGC end of it was right for me. And it was quite a few years before I ever took Minerval. And I'm only just coming up to second next month. And I'll know when it's right to start functioning within the Mass as an officer. And it just develops. It gives you a little more option for your own speed. And it does not exclude the initiation process at all. And it helps incorporate it, maybe.
Is it still policy that prior to confirmation you must be at least a first degree?
No,
Is-
I don't think that was ever called.
It came out in the link when the first time we ever got the rules about a deacon must be a first degree and a priest or priestess must be a KEW. There was a paragraph, maybe I'm remembering wrong,
I don't recall that.
about
No,
how
it was definitely
for
deacon
baptism
actually.
you needed to be a Minerval and a first for
I
confirmation.
don't recall that, and I don't think that was the intent.
Okay.
It certainly isn't. I don't remember that being the intent.
Can you clarify, what does baptism mean for this order? What does confirmation mean in this order?
Okay.
As opposed to and contrasted to the degree.
I'm kind of wondering if that's something that's really tangential at this point. I guess not, I probably won't go into address that.
What does it say that?
As far as the order structure goes, I think she put it pretty well, but it is just additional flexibility. These are public ceremonies. Baptism and confirmation are public ceremonies, whereas initiation are, of course, secret ceremonies.
Right, I'm asking
Okay.
something more basic.
So, right, but let me get to that. What we're doing is there's sort of, the EGC is sort of developing into this structure where there's more public activities available within the overall OTO structure. And that would be, right now, it's pretty much just Gnostic Mass as the public face of the OTO, whereas there'll be baptism and confirmation will be additional aspects of that. Now, we know that Crowley intended that there be a baptism ritual within, at least within the overall Thelemic context. You know, he wrote out notes for it, and that's what we're using. And I think you have to kind of look at the sort of traditional structure of what baptism and confirmation are, and get into the etymology of the words, that sort of thing. Baptism. And this is sort of where the two really are a little bit disjointed, where, you know, we have the OTO structure here, so much the initiatory structure, the secret rituals, the NNM part of it, okay, and then we have EGC, which is tied into that, but it's not identical. There's not a one-to-one correspondence. EGC extends out a little bit more into the public sphere. So this is a chance for people to, I think, experience some of the initiatory energies, really as a preface to the secret initiations of OTO.
Oh, that's what you meant.
Yeah, but it's like this. Baptism and confirmation really, in a way, correspond fairly well to first and second degree.
Yeah, yes.
So it's sort of it's kind of like a foreshadowing